Hey guys, how you doing? Chris Rod, Sun City Lawn Care. Today we're going to be talking about aeration. We're going to be doing a comparative analysis. I'm going to be showing you guys the old school mechanical aeration. You see that monster behind me? And then you got the little white bottle right next to it, okay? We're going to be doing a comparison, a side-by-side core aeration versus a liquid Air8 product, okay? That's what I've been using for years, liquid aeration, okay? Now, the core machine back there, the core aerator, I haven't used one of these probably about 4 or 5 years, probably 7 years in this own backyard, okay? And I haven't needed to, I haven't really wanted to go and get a machine, but I wanted to make a video for you guys today and just do a quick side-by-side comparison, okay? So what we're gonna be doing, as you guys know, we've been dealing with a couple areas that are some dead spots, if you will, and I primarily contribute that to where we had the ryegrass at the beginning of the season. The dogs were doing their thing and they just smoked that grass off, and this is primarily the area where the dogs do their business, okay? Couple trouble spots over there, but as you guys can see, the immediate area in the grass right here where the dogs don't do their business, it's looking very thick, very full, very healthy, okay? And then I'm hoping in the video you can see some dark green spots. They're very sporadic, and we all know what that is. That is the dog urine, okay? It creates that high boost of nitrogen. You get that ring, that dark green ring, and then the little brown spot in the middle, okay? So we try our best to keep the dogs off the lawn, but that's not always possible as a homeowner, right? So what do we got to do to compound that? Well, you can do a couple things. You know, you saturate the area, but with water, you water routinely. It is what it is, right? So April lawn care, this is the last day of April. We're getting into really good spring, early summertime weather, okay? And growth, okay? When you guys are talking about growth with primarily southern lawns, or even your northern grass types for that matter, it's your opportunity to start doing some additional things like aeration, okay? Or promoting root growth, okay? If you guys are using, or if you got a cool season grass, you probably wanna start putting down some of that potassium, a lot of potassium, calcium if you're deficient, and start, you know, getting a little heavy with the nitrogen, okay? Because you want a good solid push of growth before the heat of the summer for cool season grasses. Here in the South, we continuously fertilize our southern lawns, especially even our Bermuda lawns, okay? Now, here's the catch. My lawn, and this is purely for statistical purposes only, okay? Most of you guys out there, you homeowners, should be routinely fertilizing your lawn. If you haven't ever done a soil test, or you didn't do a soil test this year and you're just kind of starting out and you don't know what to do, get down some fertilizer. That's your best bet, okay? Just make sure you read the application rates per 1,000 square feet. That's what we're looking to do, okay? But for my yard, based on our soil test, you guys know that have been following along, I haven't applied any fertilizer whatsoever to this backyard since I got the soil test. I think last October or November, when I did the overseeding, was the last time that it's had a good dose of fertilizer. And as you can see, it's nice, healthy. It doesn't look the greatest, but I'm not applying fertilizer. I'm not pushing a lot of growth, okay? And I'm doing this to show you guys, okay, the difference between applying fertilizer and not applying fertilizer, okay? The growth pattern difference, all right? Now, what we can do though is some of the basic lawn care practices, and one of those lawn care practices, which is part of today's video, or in essentially the entirety of the video, is aerating. Aerating in the spring, we do here in the South. If you got a southern lawn or southern grass type, Bermuda, St. Augustine, zoysia, centipede, you should be aerating in the springtime, okay? So we're gonna be doing a study here, and you guys have to follow along, so make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification so that when I do the update video, you're gonna see the difference between a core aeration and a liquid Air8, which is what I normally use, okay? Let's talk about the differences, okay? The core aerating machine there, primarily the biggest difference is it's heavy as crap to use. No, you're gonna create these the tines on the machine are gonna create the holes, right? They're gonna create the holes in the ground. It's gonna pull a plug out. Now, you have the option to remove those cores or leave them. You do not have to remove them. You can let them break down. Okay, so let's talk about sandy soil systems versus clay soil systems. If you got a sandy soil system like we do here in West Texas, that sandy core you're going to pull out is going to break away very, very easily. As opposed to a clay soil system, when you core aerate, that plug that you remove, that clay is pretty solid, all right? You may want to consider removing that, but you don't have to. You can always leave those in the ground and let them break apart, or run your mower over them, and the mower will actually naturally mulch that material up and disperse it accordingly, okay? The only time someone really removes the cores after core aerating is when you are running a short turf and you are backfilling with a material like sand, okay, a USGA grade sand, where you're filling in those holes just like the golf courses, like the putting greens, okay? They do not want to leave those cores on there because there's so much foot traffic, and they maintain such a low turf that those cores create this little bump, if you will, once compacted with a mower or someone's walking on it, and you don't want a bumpy lawn, okay? The whole concept behind core aerating, removing the cores, is to maintain a smooth grade, a smooth finish, a putting green style finish, if you can imagine that, okay? Again, you don't have to remove the cores, okay? Today, I'm not gonna remove the cores. I'm gonna leave them in the lawn because I've been adding biochar and humic acid, and we're doing organic introduction, okay, or induction into the soil system. We're keeping that material here, okay? Now, if I was running a quarter-inch cut or a half-inch cut, I would probably go ahead and remove them. With that being said, if you guys are looking to do a sand leveling job or a top dressing, you may want to go ahead and remove those cores as well, because it may inhibit some of your smoothing, your grading process. All right, so that's one of the biggest differences, is the core aeration and then the liquid aeration. Let's talk about that real quick. The reason why I love using the liquid aeration is, I put it in a hose end sprayer like you got over there, where I put in 6 to 9 ounces, and I just go ahead and water the lawn, okay? You got to water the product in anyways, so you might as well use something where you can water in and add water to the solution. You can also use a backpack sprayer. 9 times out of 10, when I'm spraying a yard and we're aerating, doing the liquid aeration, I am using my backpack sprayer. It gives me a good consistent flow. I can put however many gallons or ratio, which if I'm not mistaken is a 7-to-1 ratio, into my tank sprayer, and then I can walk the lawn, spray it, do a manual cycle on the irrigation, and it waters the product in for me, okay? But we're here at the house, so we're gonna do a difference. Today I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to core aerate that side over there with the machine, and I'm going to do a liquid aeration on this side right here, okay? And then I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to mow it first. So we're going to get a nice even cut across the board. We're going to edge it, clean it up, and then I'm going to do the aeration portion. And then a week, 2 weeks, we're going to follow along and see the growth rate, or see if there's a difference, okay? Probably we're going to do a follow-up in a week, because what I'm going to do is I normally mow about 3 times a week, right? I'm not going to mow this next week at all, and we're going to see if there's a difference. But you got to stay tuned, all right? Outside of that, primary reasons, pros, cons, core aeration, it's heavy, you're going to leave some cores, it's got the tines, there's space and opportunity to miss between the holes from the core, the mechanical. The liquid, again, I can reach 80% more of the soil surface because it's a spray. I can reach all that. Now, why do we aerate in the spring? Primarily, there's a couple reasons. One, we're looking to maximize air flow into the soil system. We're looking for water penetration, which in that area, the water's been kind of residing more than I like to see on the soil surface. So airflow, water penetration, and then root growth, okay? When you aerate and you allow those first two to penetrate in the soil, it's loosening up the soil. You're creating space in your soil system to help promote root growth, whether it be mechanical or air, a liquid form, okay? And then primarily the more positive side of why I like the liquid portion, that particular product, okay, the Air8 is primarily potassium hydroxide, so it's a 005 5, if I'm not mistaken. So you guys know I haven't been applying fertilizer. Well, today I'm putting down some potassium, all right? But it's also got humic and fulvic acid inside of it, which enhances the humate layer underneath the actual grass along your soil system, and it helps promote root growth. That is what the key concept behind doing the liquid Air8 program is all about. So outside of that, I hope you guys enjoy. Stay along. Don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions, leave a comment below or a question below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Enjoy. All right, guys, so cleaned up, edged, mowed, and I thought it would only be fair that I give you a good representation up close of a before and after of what we're working with here. So as you guys can see, this is all the dog pee damage here, and we've got some really thinned out areas. Look at this guy. Bermuda is, oh, I cut it. Oh, man. Oh, here's one, though. These stolons, they're spreading and they're filling in all these areas like they're supposed to do. But I tell you what, man, when them dogs do their damage, look at that guy right there. So they're filling in, it's spreading, but we're going to help them out today. Let's just show you the ugly. The ugly, yeah, okay. And then as you get over here, closer to where the dogs never do any of their stuff, it's all right. Oop, look at that guy. Dang, phone's about to die. Look how bad that looks. It's horrible. And then you get over here, it's nice and healthy. So normally what I see is a lot of this good growth right here throughout the entire lawn. But this past year, for some reason, one way or another, even though the soil test we got back, everything's looking prime condition, you know, healthy growing conditions, we still have these issues throughout the lawn, okay? Now, this is the only thing that I have not done this season, which I normally do earlier in April, is aerate the lawn, okay? However, I use the liquid aeration. So we're gonna go ahead and get that done, knock it out of the park today, feed it some potassium on the liquid Air8 side and do a mechanical aeration. Again, we're gonna be doing a mechanical core aeration comparison on this side to the liquid aeration on that side, okay? So just one last look, guys. See how low that is? Okay, we just gave it a fresh, clean cut. Looking very healthy, a lot of areas. And we still got some trouble spots. So let's see if we can go ahead and troubleshoot this stuff and follow up in a week. Here's an update on this area. Remember, I pulled all the grass out and smoothed that back out. It's filling in. And for some reason, this has always been my pride and joy. This is so pristine. It's not even funny. Look at this, guys. There's nothing wrong with this part of the yard whatsoever. And you know what's funny? The dogs don't do their business here. They just stay off of it for some reason. Probably because it's next to the pool pump. They don't like that noise. No issues there. All right, so let's talk about these cores, all right? These little itty bitty cores that came out. For you guys that are big on removing the cores, just like the putting greens, if you wanna go down that road, you can. Here is what it looks like once the core's removed and they get ran over or they get stepped on, all right? They create these little, they can create these little, I guess, bumps, if you will. But once you take your mower and you start mulching all this up with your mower, this stuff is just going to start disintegrating. Look at that. And again, guys, this is for sandy soil systems. It's just going to wither away. I'm not worried about these cores, these plugs. Once I run the mower over on the next cut, you know, you're going to see they just kind of vanish. Now, you guys with that hard compacted clay soil where you're really trying to alleviate some of the compaction, these cores are a lot more firm. They don't just break down like this. In that case, if you're dealing with a short, you know, Bermuda lawn and you've got compacted clay soils, you may want to go ahead and remove those. It's a big may. If you're dealing with a northern grass type like turf tall fescue, you're not even going to see the core, so I wouldn't even worry about it. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and like, leave a comment below, and hit that bell notification for when we do the follow-up video to this. As you can see, I have left the cores. I've aerated this right hand and then a liquid aeration on the other side there. We're just gonna simply do a comparative analysis on which grass side grows better, fuller, thicker. I guarantee you one thing is definitely gonna happen. With the liquid aeration, it's gonna create something you can't see. The reason why that is because it's liquid, okay? And we're promoting root growth. The grass is not always greener on the other side, or maybe the grass is greener on the other side. With that, either one of those statements, it's gonna be hard to tell because you can't see what's underneath this lawn. So with that liquid aeration through the application of potassium, humic acid, fulvic acid, there's a lot of things going on in the soil system that you just can't see. So that top growth is gonna be the judge, if you will. I mean, you're gonna be the ultimate judge, but you know, when we see the difference in growth, and then primarily these areas of difficulty right here, and then on the liquid aeration side, there's another area right there, which we'll be able to see which aeration responds better, the liquid or the mechanical core aeration. You guys could see me with this machine and the difficulty that it is versus simply applying a good old 005 liquid Air8, soluble potash, humic acid, fulvic acid, potassium hydroxide. You can't get better preparation going into the early summer than some of that right there, okay? Remember though, here's what I want you to here's what I do want to point out, and this is why I prefer the liquid aeration. You see all the holes down in there? Hole, not a lot of good depth either. I'd say maybe an inch, inch and a half on some of these. See all that space in between? What about those areas? What about those areas? Why didn't the machine drill a hole that way? Well, I could have if I went back and forth 9 million times. Guess what the liquid aeration does? We reach more soil surface, guys. We promote more root growth with the liquid aeration. I know I keep saying liquid aeration. I'm trying to get to a point. That's it. That's all I got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I got to go get this machine back to the big old box store because I don't own one of these freaking things. Let me go return that again. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Welcome. Well, hope you had a good April lawn care. Welcome to May lawn care right around the corner. Pre-summer lawn care. Y'all stay tuned. Have a good one.